on Season Pass.
Baseball and softball are here as Concho Valley teams competed in tournaments across the area. Highlights from the Dry Devils Classic in Sonora coming your way. We also have highlights from the Angelo State Rams and Bells. How far did ASU get in the Lone Star Conference tournament? All the action from Kingsville, along with more tonight. Season Pass starts right now.
Season Pass is sponsored by Kent Elliott Roofing.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season Pass. I'm your host, Ryan Reynolds. The high school basketball season is quickly coming to an end, and the traditional spring sports are starting to heat up, which means you can expect to see more baseball and softball content from here on out. But before we get to that, entering the week, there were still a few Concho Valley basketball teams left in the playoffs. 3 on the boys' side, 2 on the girls' side. Erie County has been no stranger to the regional tournament. The Hornets back in the regional semifinals for the second time in 3 years. They had a tough matchup against 15th ranked Eula out in Winters. And talk about exciting basketball games. This one had everything. It went back and forth all night. Starting in the final seconds of the third, Dakota Boyles bringing it up at the buzzer. Eula takes a 1-point lead going into the final quarter. Under 4 to play, Erie County looking to regain the lead. Jordan Harrison to Trevin Kofel fires from deep. Hornets, they take a 1-point lead. Like I said, back in fourth. 3 minutes to play. Now under a minute to play. Sorry, Clayton Gray gets the easy lay-in. Eula back in front by 1. Erie County responds. Kofel to Harrison. Big time shot from the sophomore. Hornets up by 2. But with the blink of an eye, Boyles, he's going to knock down a 3 for Eula, and the Pirates are back in front. Here is the final play with 11 seconds. Kofel misses the runner. Harrison flies in, gets the board, misses the layup. Kofel gets the board. One last shot. It is off the mark. Eula wins a wild one in Winters, 47-46. The Pirates also went on to face Westbrook in the regional finals. Over at 2A, Cristoville making its regional tournament return for the first time in 20 years. In 2001, they ended up winning their region. Tuesday night, not the case for the Cougars. They fall to second-ranked Clarendon, 51-30. It was the second time in program history Cristoville made the regional tournament. Congrats to the Hornets and Cougars on a great season. The third boys team, Cornerstone Christian in Taps 1A, taking on Southwest Christian. Check this out, courtesy of the Cornerstone Lions. The 3 sends the game to overtime, and then in overtime, the Lions come up with a big stop. They get a 1-point win, 53-52, to advance to the regional round. So in the regional round, let's see how the Lions fared in that one, taking on Covenant Academy. Win or go home. Third quarter, Cornerstone down 13. Check out that range by Peyton White from deep. That ball makes it a 10-point game. Then White out in transition gets the lay-in to go. It's a 9-point game. But Covenant would start to pull away for good. Out of the timeout, the deep 3 is good here. Just going to pull up and whop it in. And then next time down the court, Covenant is going to steal it away. And they're going to rack up some mileage on this play. Going coast to coast for the lay-in. And that's it for the Lions season. 62-41 the final. No more boys basketball teams left in the Concho Valley. Over to the girls' side, 4th-ranked Very Best is no stranger to the big spotlight. The Lady Falcons, just 1 year removed from the program's first-ever state tournament appearance, were just 2 wins shy of getting back to the promised land. But with every win at this point in the bracket comes tougher competition. 1A Region 2 semifinals, Very Best taking on 13th-ranked Westbrook. This game was a battle. Second quarter, Kennedy Wheelis picking off the pass. She's going to take it herself. Lady Falcons down 22-20, and that would be a theme in this one. Very Best having to play catch-up from the first quarter on. Reagan Hale hits a 3 for Westbrook. The Lady Wildcats led by 6 at the half. Third quarter kind of turned into the Callie Briley show. She turned it up a notch, sinks it from downtown. She led Very Best with a game-high 19 points, including 5 3-pointers. Lady Falcons within 1 fourth quarter, and this is the play that kind of took the momentum away. Madison Munoz gets the board in the bucket, and you can also count it the old-fashioned way. And 1. The Lady Wildcats with a 10-point lead, and that'll do it. Very Best season comes to an end in the regional semifinals. They lose to Westbrook 51-45. Caps 1A area round. Cornerstone Christian hosting Conroe Lifestyle. Lady Lions were dominant in this one. I don't even think dominant is the right word to say for this one. After a big first half in the third, Grace DeLauder, Jessica DeLauder's there. The cleanup. Yeah, it's 38-5 at this point. A few possessions later, Abby Harrison, a quick catch and shoot. Lady Lions up 35 points. Let's head into the fourth. The dominance continues. Hannah Robinson, plenty of space, knocks down that shot. And how about one more from the Lady Lions? Up 44, Cami Vitus, the freshman, getting involved. Cornerstone gave up just 9 total points, 56-9 the final score. That is not a typo. So Cornerstone advancing to the regional round, eyeing a spot in the 1A state semifinals, taking on Calvary Baptist. First quarter, Lady Lions up. Grace DeLauder, nice cut in for the lay-in. Cornerstone up 23-15. Now in the third, Lady Lions start showing off the rebounding skills. Jessica DeLauder there for the board and put back. And then a couple plays later, there is that name again. I'm saying it often. Jessica DeLauder there for the rebound again and the basket. Lady Lions up 16 into the fourth. Calvary would give the Lady Lions a late scare, though. Only down 5. They get to 3. Cutting Cornerstone's lead to just 2, but Cornerstone is going to hold on to win it. They get it 41-36, and they're just 2 wins away from a state title. Coming up on Season Pass, for the first time this year, we have high school baseball and softball highlights. You don't want to miss it after the break. Stay with us.
Hello, I'm Phil Sanders, and I'm the speaker on In Search of the Lord's Way. I'm here each week with a Bible-based message relevant to these troubling times. We're here through the generous support of several churches of Christ in this area, and they'd love to have you visit them and attend their Bible classes and worship assemblies. Please, won't you join us this week?
Join Phil Sanders in Search of the Lord's Way.
Bad sleep, one night on the road, and we already need a chiropractor.
You know, RV sleep doesn't have to be bad sleep. With Denver Mattresses RV lineup. Made in the USA with 3 levels of comfort, these mattresses are designed to fit your RV sleeping space. Choose in-store pickup or have it delivered, wherever you happen to be. And rest easy, knowing it's backed by our 365-night better sleep guarantee. Get superior rest and comfort on the road, only at Denver Mattress.
Welcome to La Speranza Clinic, with 2 locations serving San Angelo and the Concho Valley. Our Lakeview location offers adult primary, women's health, pediatrics, and dental. Our Chadbourne location offers adult primary, behavior health, and extended hours. Both sites accepting those with insurance as well as the uninsured, offering affordable payment options, and always accepting new patients. La Speranza Clinic is here to make healthcare accessible for everyone in the Concho Valley.
Concho Valley Homepage isn't just a website or an app in San Angelo. It's your connection to everything in the Concho Valley. From Wall to Cristoval, Miles to Great Creek, people turn to Concho Valley Homepage over 1 million times. With webcasts, push alerts, and website exclusives, all completely free, behind 0 paywalls. ConchoValleyHomepage.com isn't just news for San Angelo. It's keeping you connected to the Concho Valley.
Welcome back, everyone. The high school baseball season is here, and over in Sonora is a pretty special 3-day tournament for those who enjoy the sound of wooden bats. Friday marked day 2 of 3 of the Dry Devils Wooden Classic. El Dorado swiped 16 bases and kicked off the day with a 7-5 win over TLCA. Caden Gonzalez earned the victory on the hill for El Dorado after tossing 2 1/3 inning, allowing 0 runs on 1 hit, striking out 5 and walking 0. Seto Monsivius led TLCA at the plate with a 3-for-3 performance. So El Dorado clinching a spot in the semifinals. The other spot goes to the winner of this one. Mason taking on Reagan County. Punchers up 2-0 in the bottom of the first. This one had some great defensive plays. Alex Xavier Reyes slaps one down the third base line. Spencer Morris is going to field it, and watch this. He's going to show off the cannon. Guns him down at home. That keeps the Owls off the board. Reagan County also flashing the leather. Pitcher Malachi Bishop snags a ball hit right back at him. Gets the out at first for the double play. Owls shut down Mason's scoring opportunity, and they had a chance to really make an impact at the bottom of the third. Bases loaded, but Cody McBee battles back from a 3-1 count to get the pop out at short. That ends the inning. Mason gets the shutout win, 7-0. They then beat El Dorado 7-3 in the semifinals, setting up a meeting with Harper for the Dry Devils Classic Championship. And as you see, the Punchers took care of business in that one as well. 6-4 the final score. Mason running through this tournament. El Dorado beat Sonora in the third place game, 11-4. How about some high school softball? TLCA hosting Menard at the Texas Bank Sports Complex. The Lady Yellow Jackets got to work early in the top of the first. Carmen Garcia hits one into center. Jalen Montez scores from second. Menard getting on the board first, and they would add to it. This was a great first inning for the Lady Yellow Jackets. Ileana Baker taps one to third. The throw to first is too high. Baker finds herself on second after the miscue, and then a few batters later, Menard is going to bring her around. Haley Ruiz, identical play here, slaps it to third. Again, the throw is off the mark. Two score for the Lady Yellow Jackets, 3-0 Menard. They put up 7 runs in the first inning. The Lady Yellow Jackets take it 11-6. Menard has won 3 straight now after dropping its first 5 games to start the year. Cristobal taking on Santa Ana. This one also out at Texas Bank Sports Complex. Top of the second, bases loaded. This ball is slapped back towards Gracie Garrison. The throw to third, safe. Lady Mountaineers add another run. Later in the inning, bases loaded again, but this ball is going to be hit pretty well into left. 2 more runs come in to score for Santa Ana. That gives them a 7-5 lead. Flip to the bottom half of the inning. A runner on second for Cristobal trying to answer back. Savannah Wilkins stranded on base. The score is still 7-5. Cristobal, though, they came from behind to win this one 14-11. The Lady Cougars are 2-3 to start the year. Plenty more to come from high school baseball and softball. District play begins next week. And next on Season Pass, we stop in and check up on Angelo State. The Rams basketball team competed in the LSC tournament, and the baseball team traveled to Lubbock. All that and more after the break. Stay with us.
All hail the presidential portable restroom. Air-conditioned spaces, TVs, fireplaces, and other amenities. And now under new ownership that's been in the industry since 1983. We cover 60,000 square miles in Central and West Texas. Give us a call for all your portable toilet and restroom trailer needs.
People think about hospice and instantly think hospice is a place that you go to die. But actually, hospice is a philosophy of care. It's a place where you come to live the best you can for as long as you can, doing the things that you want to do. When we go out to a patient's house, the first thing that we say is, what are your goals? That's what we're there for. Whatever that they envision as their journey going forward, that's where we meet them.
Many medicines used to treat colds and flu contain acetaminophen, a pain reliever and fever reducer found in hundreds of over-the-counter and prescription medicines. But taking too much or more than one medication containing acetaminophen per day can damage your liver. So always read the label and don't take acetaminophen if you drink 3 or more alcoholic drinks every day. To learn more, visit fda.gov/OTC pain info. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Food and Drug Administration.
But what gets us past those days is that time that family member sends us a sweet note in the mail that says, I don't know what we would have done without you.
Remarkable Women of the Concho Valley, March 9th at 6 and 10 on KLST. Proudly supported by Bug Express.
Boys and Girls Clubs are providing millions of meals to communities, childcare to first responders, and virtual programming. We're doing whatever it takes to help families get through this crisis, but we can't do this alone. Visit bgca.org/relief fund.
All hail the presidential portable restroom. Air-conditioned spaces, TVs, fireplaces, and other amenities. And now under new ownership that's been in the industry since 1983. We cover 60,000 square miles in Central and West Texas. Give us a call for all your portable toilet and restroom trailer needs.
Welcome back to Season Pass. The Angelo State Rams, for an 8th straight season, are competing in the Lone Star Conference Tournament. They hit the road to Kingsville for the LSC Tournament quarterfinals. 5th seed Angelo State taking on the 4th seed Texas A&M Kingsville. Opening round of the LSCs. First half, Derek Luna pulls up for the jumper. Javelinas have a 7-point lead. Cinco Boone cooking up a run for the Rams. Sam Moore pulls up, and he is going to bang home a 3. Look at that. Sam Moore having a great season. Andre Nunley, he's also having a good season for the Rams. Picks the pocket of Luna. He takes it coast to coast for the lay-in tie game. And then off a javelina miss, Kevon Godwin, he had that game winner against St. Edwards earlier in the season, gets the layup. Rams taking the lead on that bucket, but Kingsville's Creighton Avery was the star. He had 32 points as the Rams season comes to an end. They fall in Kingsville 73-65. 2 Rams were named to the All-LSC team. Senior Paul Williams was named to the All-Conference second team. Williams led the Rams in points this season, averaging 14 points per game. He also led the team in assists and steals. Junior Devon Thomas was named to honorable mention in his first year with the Rams. He was 3rd on the team in scoring, averaging 9 points per game. He was also 2nd on the team in rebounding. The Rams finished the season 8-9, ending the regular season on a 3-game winning streak. Neither the Bells or Rams are expected to qualify for the Division II National Tournament. Despite down seasons, both teams have representation in the All-Lone Star Conference honors. We just went over the Rams honors. 2 Bells also received recognition. Sophomore Sawyer Lloyd was named to the second team All-Conference. She led the Bells in scoring, averaging over 14 points per game. She was second in the conference in assists and 4th in steals. Maddie Stevens was named to the All-Freshman team in the LSC. She was 2nd on the team in scoring, averaging nearly 13 points per game. Good pickup for the Bells there. She was also the Bells' leading defender this season, finishing 4th in the conference in rebounding and blocks. The Bells finished the season at 1-13, with most of their season being affected by COVID. More honors for Angelo State on the diamond for this one. Rams pitcher Ben Elder was named to the Lone Star Conference Pitcher of the Week after tossing 22 consecutive scoreless innings in 2 complete shutout games. The most recent one coming against St. Mary's. At the time of the accomplishment, like I said, Elder threw 22 consecutive innings without giving up a run, leading him to an LSC leading .4 earned run average and a new ASU record. Sticking with the top-ranked Rams, they were rolling entering this weekend's 3-game series against Lubbock Christian. Over their 8-game winning streak, Angelo State outscored opponents 118-35. They look to keep those hot bats fresh on the road against the Chaps. The Rams lead this all-time series 20-12 over LCU and have won the last 6 meetings. Angelo State with an early 6-2 lead. Bottom first, George Mendoza finds the gap through the middle. That'll bring home Luis Navarro. LCU starts chipping away at ASU's lead 6-3. Now Tyler Hardwick getting the start for the Chaps. Top second, quick 3 up, 3 down for Hardwick. He'd have 2 strikeouts in 4 innings of work. Chaps not being able to get anything going offensively, but the Rams are right here. Top third, Nick Novak singles up the middle. That brings home Jackson Hardy, 7-3. Rams still in the third. Kobe Kelton, what an addition he's been. The BYU transfer, a line drive triple down the third base line. Both Thomas Kane and Novak score. Chaps would score 2 in the 8th to bring it within 4, but Angelo State would go on to win 9-5, the final score. So 9 straight wins for the Rams. Can they stretch it to 10 games with a win in Game 2? Shandon Herrera getting the start for LCU in a pitcher's battle through the first few innings. Chaps get Nick Saginowicz to ground into a double play. That ends the top of the first. Ben Elder, the LSC pitcher of the week on the mound for the Rams, getting his first strikeout of the day. He'd finish with 6 Ks in Saturday's matchup. Still scoreless, top of the 4th now. Bases loaded, 3-2 count. Herrera walks Jordan Williams. Josh Elvire will come home, and the Rams take a 1-0 lead. Some exciting stuff, really. Still in the 4th. Nick Novak flies out to left field. Nick Saginowicz will come home to put the Rams up 2-0 in the bottom of the 4th. The Rams are going to tack on 2 more runs right here. Jackson Hardy is going to single to right to bring in Jordan Williams and Parker Bramlett. The Rams now up 4-0. They would put 3 more runs up and end up winning this one at 7-1. The Rams extending that winning streak to double digits, and they will look to break out the brooms today in the series finale. Top first from Hayes Field, top third from Hayes Field. ASU spotting runs early. Jordan Williams drills it down the right field line. That'll bring home 2 runs. Angelo State takes a 5-2 lead. LCU's Armando Vale found a rhythm on the mound early, though. Gets out of the inning. He'd strike out 6 over 5 innings of work, allowing only 6 hits. Bottom 4th, Lubbock Cooper grad A.J. Perez hits one to the shortstop. The throw home is high. Brendan Fowler scores. The Chaps starting to chip away at that lead again, 5-3. ASU still in front, though, until this big play. Later in the 4th, bases loaded. Eduardo Acosta steps up to the plate, and that'll do some damage. A grand slam busts this game wide open and gives the Chaps a 7-5 lead. LCU got the spark they were looking for in this series. They avoid the sweep. Angelo State loses 12-6, snapping that 10-game winning streak. Unfortunate to see that Rams winning streak come to an end. They'll definitely bounce back, though, coming up on Season Pass. We shrink the diamond a little bit. How about some Rambell softball? Highlights from Meyer Field coming up shortly. We'll be right back.
Looking for high quality and low prices? Then Furniture Row's 4-day super sale is for you. That's 4 days where the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. No limit. You'll also find huge savings on living, dining, bedroom, and much, much more. Plus, make your cash go further with 5 years no-interest financing. And free shipping right to your doorstep. But hurry, the 4-day super sale at Furniture Row ends Monday.
A stroke or brain attack is one of the leading causes of death, but it is the #1 cause of disability.
I remember thinking, this can't be happening to me. I'm not having a TIA. I'm not having a stroke. I'm 45. I know what I'm doing. I can't be having a stroke. Looking back on it now, as soon as I had those first symptoms, I would have called 911 immediately. Time is everything.
Major symptoms of stroke appear suddenly. It helps to remember these fast tips.
Right here, baby. Look. Uma.
Noah. Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
Welcome back to Season Pass. Angelo State softball is ranked number 23 in the nation, and we're fairly busy this past week with 8 total games. The Rambells fresh off a 4-game sweep of Henderson State to start the week, battling Cameron in a doubleheader. The Aggies are going to get on the board first. A base hit from Madison Muravelli. That brings in Callie Christensen. The Aggies taking the 1-0 lead in the top of the second. Then in the top of the third, some more runs. Christensen hitting a double into left center. Michaela Stroud would attempt to make a play. Goes over her head. That brings in Kamari Edwards and Michaela Richmond. The Aggies now take a commanding 3-0 lead, but in the bottom of the fourth, Rambells would respond. Malia Burns with a 2-run rocket over the left field fence. That brings in Ashton Durner. The Rambells trail 3-2. But when you think it's over against this Rambells team, you are probably wrong. Angelo State winning this one 4-3 in walk-off fashion. Ashlyn Box hitting a 2-run walk-off homer. But can the Rambells keep that momentum going in Game 2? ASU looking for its 6th straight win. The Aggies start off hot in the top of the second. Brenna Busby hits her second homer over the center field fence. That puts Cameron up 2-0. And then in the 6th, Callie Christensen flies out, but Busby will come in to score, putting Cameron up 3-0. Here's that lead again for Cameron, 3-0. Will they blow it this time? Madison Murley in the 6th is going to get a base hit. That brings in Kamari Edwards. The Aggies lead 4-0. The Bells would attempt to respond in the 7th. Courtney Barnhill is going to pop a fly ball to right center. That brings in a run, but Angelo State would ultimately come up short against Cameron. 4-2 the score. Angelo State then welcomed in number 10 Oklahoma Christian this afternoon for a doubleheader. Straight away in the first, Ashlyn Lerma slaps one to shallow left. She'll gun it to second. Then Barnhill steps up to the plate and puts down a sacrifice bunt. That brings around Lerma. Rambell's up 1-0 in the bottom of the first. Now in the bottom of the second, Barnhill coming up clutch here. She'll hit a single to short and beat the throw. Ashton Durner comes in to score. Rambell's now up 2-0. Oklahoma Christian, though, showing why they're the 10th ranked team in the nation. They come from behind to take game one, 4-2. How will the Rambells respond in game two? A windy situation out in Meyer Field. Not a lot of scoring in this one. Angelo State down 1-0 in the bottom of the third. This hit changes that. Madison Fernandez keeps it on the ground. Barnhill slides in safely. Rambell's even the score at 1, and they had plenty of chances to take the lead. Bases loaded in the bottom of the fourth. Barnhill grounds out to the pitcher. The Eagles getting out of a sticky situation. Angelo State stranded 11 runners in scoring position. Oklahoma Christian completes the sweep 2-1 in 8 innings. The Rambells are now 9-6 on the year and will turn to action on Friday with a doubleheader against UTPB. Hey, you don't want to miss it. Our next segment is our top place segment, and we announce our player of the week. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Mike with MGB, Mike's Gold Buyers. Gold and silver prices are terrific, which means more money for your gold, silver, and diamonds. Come to MGB and you'll say,
I sold gold and I like Mike.
On Avenue N by Angelo State.
Who likes ordering exactly what they want while saving money?
Everyone.
Suddenlink Business Your Way lets you customize your bundle of 300 meg speed secure internet. That's fast. And save when you add smart Wi-Fi, mobile, and premier technical support. It's internet with security built right in for just $84.95 a month for 1 year and a $100 Visa prepaid card on us. Save with your custom bundle of services from Suddenlink Business Your Way.
Serious savings.
Call or visit suddenlinkbusiness.com today.
When life is busy, stay up to date with all your news throughout the Concho Valley online, covering the stories that affect your community. Watch CVHP News with Sonora Scott, only on ConchoValleyHomepage.com.
Welcome back to Season Pass. Top 5 plays in the Concho Valley. Let's start on the baseball diamond with Angelo State. The BYU transfer, Kobe Kelton, ripping one down the third base line. 2 runs will score. It's not shown, but Kelton would end up on third with a 2 RBI triple. The Rams take 2 of 3 in Lubbock. Number 4, Very Best, taking on Westbrook in the regional semifinals. And the sophomore, Callie Briley, was feeling it from long range. How about this 3-point montage? Briley scoring a game-high 19 points, with most of her scoring coming almost exclusively from behind the arc. 5 threes in total. Very Best season coming to an end, though. Back on the diamond, Mason taking on Reagan County. How about this for a number 3 play? Spencer Morris showing off the cannon in left field. Guns down a runner at the plate. Hello, baseball season. The Punchers top the Owls 7-0 and went on to claim the Dry Devils Classic Championship. Number 2, Cornerstone Christian season on the line in the area round. But not so fast. Ethan Paget has other plans. Drills a game-tying 3 with less than 10 seconds to play. What a finish in this one. The Lions take it in overtime against Southwest Christian, 53-52 in our top play. Last week we had a Rams baseball walk-off. How about the Rambells this week? Ashton Fox, the former Wall Lady Hawk, opening Lone Star Conference play with a bang. A 2-run walk-off homer for the freshman. Angelo State taking game 1 against Cameron on Friday, 4-3. The Rambells split the series with Cameron and sit at 9-6 on the year. And our player of the week this week, Kai Herbert, the Wall second baseman. Wall, the still defending 3A state champs, played at the Leveland tournament this past week against some tough competition. Kai Herbert had a great tournament. He hit a .588, 10 of 17 at the plate, 7 runs batted in, 3 extra base hits, and 3 stolen bases. Set your reminder. We won't be back next Sunday. Excuse me. Sunday after that. Good night.
Closed captioning for the hearing impaired is sponsored by the Law Office of Rick DeHoyas.